This episode of the Wayang Crew podcast is brought to you by Times Cineplex. Hey, welcome back everyone to yet another episode of the Wayang Crew podcast. It's me, Kevin, once again, your host on this podcast where we talk about all things movies, especially movies that are playing here in Brunei Darussalam. First up, it's my co-host, it's Del.
Hello.
Hello.
It's weird to be here on Saturday.
I know, we usually do this on a Sunday, so...
Yeah, we're just talking about it just now, and I think that's what's throwing me off. So not used to this anymore.
We also talked about how you don't like to step out of your comfort zone.
Oh yeah, comfort zone's a nice place to be in.
That's why it's called a comfort zone.
Yeah. So, yeah, it's nice to be in comfort zones.
All right.
Okay.
Up next, it's the other co-host of the podcast. It's Naz.
Hey, what's up?
What's up?
Yeah.
I just saw the Budweiser at What's Up?
Oh, have you? That's 8. Like, I was 8 when that came out.
I think he
was in
saw
the
it. He saw it in his head.
Oh.
No, on YouTube.
Oh, on
Not in my head.
I was 8 when that came out.
Yeah.
Okay.
What's
that is a definite reference to the 90s.
Scary
Yeah.
movies.
90s or 2000?
Oh, yeah. 90s. Scary movie did that.
Yeah, the first one, right?
Yeah.
Up next, she's back on this episode of the podcast. It's Nikkei.
Hello.
Welcome back to the show.
Thank you.
How are you?
I'm great. I went Miri yesterday for an exclusive Pokemon raid.
What?
Yeah.
Wait.
Wow.
Like, Bruneians go down to Miri to look for Pokemon on Pokemon
No.
Go.
It's a invitation exclusive raid on a gym. So you get to fight with Deoxys and have the opportunity to catch it.
So that's what Kev said. Bruneians going down to Miri to catch Pokemon.
Yes.
Yeah.
Cool. Anyway, on this episode of the podcast, we will be giving our review of a movie called The House with the Clock in Its Wall. It's the latest Jack Black film. He sort of carved himself out like a real niche in the film market, I guess, for this, older figure, wizard, warlock type person. We've seen him kind of do it with Goosebumps, and now this movie, The House with a Clock in Its Wall.
Yeah, the title is so...
It's weird.
Yeah.
So difficult to remember.
Yes, but we'll get to that later on in the show. First up, as usual, it's the news. Did you guys check out the trailer this week that dropped from Disney for a movie called Artemis Fowl?
Yeah, I used to read the books when I was young.
Okay, maybe you can tell me what this is about, because I have no idea.
He's a millionaire, genius, criminal kid.
Millionaire, genius, he's a criminal.
You've just described Tony Stark.
Yeah, but this is a kid.
Yeah,
Hey,
Tony Stark.
Tony Stark's not a criminal.
His dad dabbles in...
Yeah, but that's his father.
Yeah, so he's the kid of...
No, but this is
criminal.
like the kid itself. He's like millionaire, evil genius.
But how can a kid be a criminal?
It's a fantasy book.
Is he a self-made millionaire or inheritance?
Probably inheritance.
No idea. From the trailer, it doesn't really tell very much. It does kind of look spectacular in a way, I
Yeah.
guess, like in terms of the cinematic shots, but nothing with regards to the story or what it is. You read the books when you were
Yeah.
younger. I have totally no idea about this character. It does harken a little bit like it seems like he's in like a suit. He kind of looks like a Men in Black.
He's the boss.
Is this magic or is this like alien tech or what is this?
It's magic,
But
it
he's
dwells
got-
with the fantasy.
He's got like a gun which looks like a pulsar gun, and then his partner has an arrow and a mystical bow. I don't know. This.
Yeah. It's all about it. Well, it's like it's the what's the name of the movie? Mortal Instruments. It's like that.
No idea what
Mortal
that is.
Instruments
Oh no, the
is
Shani
very
Woodley
bad.
It's like
one.
no, I mean it's like that kind of
right
world.
So it's like young adult theme.
Yeah, but this one is for children.
Oh,
Yeah.
so
So
well, I don't know. I've never read any of the books. From this trailer, all I can
they
describe.
try to save the world, but
as with all movies.
Yeah. Yeah.
All right, this movie, Artemis Fowl, is coming out next year, 2019, on August 9th. So we'll see what else comes up in the next couple of months. Maybe like a full trailer. Let's hope. Up next, we are anticipating very closely the release of Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse, which is the latest in the Sony Spider-Verse sort of movie thing, and this is something that we're all looking forward to. And early reviews have praised its style and the fact that it's like fresh. Like I think I watched yesterday I watched the review on Screen Junkies, and they spent 15 minutes just gushing over this movie. Like, this is the best superhero movie of 2018. I never thought I'd say this. Yada yada yada. I can't believe it's from Sony. It's so good.
Oh no.
2018 and it's better than Avengers?
Maybe.
Infinity War?
Could be because of how fresh it is. And we talked about the visual style and how it seems to be coming right off the comic book panes. And I think it's something fresh.
Different.
Different.
Yeah. New.
I was hoping, because how Wreck-It Ralph never won the best animated movie for that year, and it lost to Brave. I was hoping that this year it could redeem itself, and the only thing standing in its way, I thought, would be Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse. And from what you're saying, it could
happen again.
Actually,
Yeah.
Are you excited to watch this movie? 'Cause it's coming out next week.
I can't wait.
All right.
It looks really good.
It looks really, really good.
Really good.
I think it's coming out in Brunei on December 7th, so we might get some early screenings on the 6th or the 5th. But that's probably coming up in the next episode of this podcast. Another movie that's coming out this month is Mary Poppins Returns, which sees Emily Blunt play the titular character of Mary Poppins. And early reactions have praised her portrayal as magical.
Ooh.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I'm not. I just saw the new trailer that was released recently, like this week, I think, earlier this week, and I'm not impressed.
You're not?
I have zero interest at the moment for this movie. I don't know why.
Were the penguins 2D still?
Yeah, the animation is still 2D, I
The
think.
penguins were 2D, but the dolphin was 3D, right?
Oh, really?
Yeah. Yeah, there was a dolphin that popped up in the bathtub.
Okay.
So they just took this from like the Mary Poppins that we know, which was already ridiculous for its time, and just amplified it,
Yeah,
to
more
stick with.
ridiculous.
I wish they don't have that much cartoon on the actual movie.
We shall see. I mean, they say it's magical. Early reactions say it's magical. It probably is. It's coming out on December 19th, so we'll probably get it about the same time here in Brunei. We will have a review of that for you guys. Here's a movie that I am particularly waiting for. It's Captain Marvel, which is going to be here in a little over 3 months' time, and Marvel has released a motion poster which begins its 100-day countdown. That was 2 days ago. So 98 days to Captain Marvel.
Ooh.
I'm not very familiar with the Captain Marvel, or what's her name again? Her human name, Carol Danvers.
Yeah.
So watching Brie Larson portraying her, I can't get excited over it. I don't know, because I don't know the character.
story.
I don't know. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I only know her from the Avengers storyline. So I'm not that excited yet.
But if you think about it, this is something that we haven't seen from the MCU in a while, which is like a bona fide origin story. I think the last proper one we got was Doctor Strange.
Oh,
Yeah.
Doctor Strange.
Doctor Strange.
But even that wasn't really an origin story, because there were already things happening in the MCU that hinted towards Doctor Strange.
Right.
Like he was mentioned. But this, we saw like a hint of her at the end of Infinity War this year.
Yeah.
And it was just her logo. But by all accounts, she has not been mentioned at all in the current MCU. So it is kind of exciting. We can't wait for that. Here's someone else who is in the MCU and has indicated that he is probably leaving. It's Chris Evans, but Joe Russo says that he isn't done yet.
What? What does that mean?
Don't know. It's very cryptic. He didn't go into specifics, but he said something along the lines of, I think it was more emotional for him than us because he's not done yet, according to Russo, who said that Evans tweeted in an interview, and it said that, and I won't explain what that means, but audiences will soon understand what I'm talking about.
What?
I never had any doubt.
So maybe he ends up like going cosmic in Avengers 4.
Oh, he's just doing flashback scenes. But for me, when Chris Evans announced that it was his last day, it was the last day of shooting for him
Exactly.
for
Yeah.
Avengers 4, not the MCU.
Huh.
So I don't have a doubt that he's gonna be back.
I think he's gonna stay just because of the fan demand that he does stay. One
Maybe.
and two, Marvel's gonna throw everything they can at him in terms
Yeah.
of money and say,
Yeah.
look, we still need you because you
Yeah.
are one of the cornerstones of the MCU.
Yeah.
So please stay, because if you go, we're gonna get some backlash from the fans. Speaking of fans, we have a Marvel fan who has taken it upon himself to assemble all of MCU's Phase 1 movies into a TV show type series.
Oh,
So what he's done is that he has taken all the Phase 1 MCU movies, that's I think like 7 of them, and these movies are Iron Man, The Incredible Hulk, Iron Man 2, Captain America, The First Avenger, Thor, and The Avengers, and he has condensed 754 minutes of runtime into about 480 in the form of a 12-episode series.
Wow.
I watch it.
I'd watch it.
I am going to watch it because I think what he's done, when we see Iron Man, we just see everything from the perspective of Iron Man. If it's the Incredible Hulk, then it's his movie. But what this person has done is that he has taken clips and things that relate to each other and put them into like an episode, which has like a title and a theme. So I'm
Interesting.
gonna link this guy's hosting site in our description because I think it's something that everyone else should check out. He says he has plans to do a Marvel Phase 2 and Phase 3 series, but I think because of this news, I have a feeling that Marvel's going to step in and say, look, here's a cease and desist.
Yeah.
This is our property. Stop messing around with it.
I was gonna ask, like, what does he do? He's so free, and he can't earn anything from.
Yeah, he can't earn
This-
from this.
yeah.
He describes himself as a scriptwriter, editor, and a doodler on his
Ooh.
website.
Of course he
Oh.
is.
So yeah, if you have the time and about 480 minutes to
And-
spare, check this out because it's about 40 minutes each, which is the runtime of like one episode
Oh,
of
yeah.
Daredevil, which we'll be talking about as our last bit of news this week.
And you should watch this before the cease and desist takes effect.
Or get them before they are removed. Marvel, who has an office and a presence in India, has trolled fans who are eagerly awaiting for an Avengers 4 trailer. They put out a tweet which read, and this is quite funny. The tweet read, "Here is the Avengers 4... ... enter, enter." And then at the bottom, character named Thor. and it was a video of Chris Hemsworth. He was like, just a little featurette of him being Thor. That is a huge troll.
Oh man, that's so funny.
I would have been so pissed. Like, I think I would have been one of those people who retweeted the thing
Yeah.
before I click play just to be the first. I'm like,
Really?
maybe.
Okay.
Like,
I mean,
it's
I would see what it is before I retweet.
But the first line of it, the one that's visible right under the video, is
Sure,
here
sure.
is Avengers 4. Like, oh my god!
There has been a lot of reports saying that it was supposed to be out on 28th of this month.
Yep.
So it didn't happen, and I was hoping that it wouldn't, and it hasn't. So I'm happy that I hope that we won't get anything like what Kai and I was discussing earlier, was that maybe they will just put a Road to Avengers 4 instead
like
of a
quick cut,
trailer.
yeah.
Yeah, just use that instead of showing us footage from the new movie.
So it wouldn't really be a trailer. It would just be like a 30-second.
No, it's not a
thing.
trailer. Yeah, it's just
Yeah.
it's like a road to this movie, like using all the like the guy who cut and stitch all those Phase 1 movies. So we can actually use those.
Or what they could do is just show us that title sequence that Marvel, because they have all the characters in.
Oh yeah.
That's essentially it. That's what you guys are talking about, right? It's a quick cut thing. Sticking with Marvel, although we're jumping over to Fox, TJ Miller, who plays Weasel in the Deadpool franchise, has clarified rumors about his Deadpool future. Now, it was initially reported in May that Miller wouldn't be reprising his role as Weasel in the third installment of the series, which is expected to be X-Force. However, the actor quickly pushed back against what he characterizes as fake things. And he sort of insisted, he didn't really say, I am in it, but he just says that don't believe everything that you hear. I'm still sort of involved in the project.
I thought he tweeted out and said he is not in any more of the Marvel or the Deadpool franchise.
Well, his tweet actually says, guys, there are no plans yet for Deadpool 3, although I am contracted to do a third.
Contracted, but never gonna happen, you mean?
Would you put it past him?
I don't think he will be back. I don't think they will ask him back unless Deadpool 3 happens like 5 years later.
And the whole stigma around
maybe if he has done more good than bad, and then the studio can relook into this contract.
It's not really how it goes in Hollywood, is it?
No.
You do one thing wrong and that sticks
Yeah,
for
that's
you.
it lah.
For your whole
Especially
professional.
for now and then, Disney is taking over Fox.
They have to keep that squeaky clean image.
If not, then they wouldn't have fired James Gunn.
That is true for tweets that were 10 years old.
Yeah.
Sylvester Stallone, who of course is synonymous with such roles as Rambo and of course Rocky, he has signaled that he is retiring from the role of Rocky.
I thought he did in the first Creed.
He's back for Creed 2.
I know, right?
So now he's saying, that's it, I'm finally done.
Because he dies in this movie?
Does he? I've not watched it because we didn't get it here.
Yeah, that's true. So we don't know. But then, wait, I think there's a good possibility that he probably dies.
Maybe.
I think that would be a good send-off for that character.
He retires and...
Because in the first Creed, he got cancer.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it didn't show any sign of like
slowing
recovering
down.
Or him recovering or anything. So I thought he died in that one.
He's back for the second one. If you do know, do let us know and contact us, via contact.
No, don't. I haven't seen it. I don't want to be spoiled.
All right. Speaking of things that, have been spoiled, Resident Evil is a franchise which I think the first movie was okay, and all the subsequent movies would just got worse and worse and worse. There is a reboot that is in the works, and it has been said that the franchise will return to its horror roots.
Oh.
What was it before?
I don't know, just like a mess.
Okay. Yeah, why not? With Mila Jovovich coming back?
Mm-hmm.
It was horror.
She's coming back, and it's going to be helmed by James Wan.
Oh, that kind of
wait.
horror. Okay.
This is not April Fool.
Nope, it's not April Fool's.
What?
Wow.
James Wan is
doing...
going to be heading up the production of the reboot to the Resident Evil franchise.
Okay. I see what they meant by horror. Like James Wan kind of.
Because he's basically kickstarted the Conjuring franchise.
So it's gonna be like Ghost.
James Wan has different types of horror. Like Saw was a different horror, and then there's the other one called. Well, Insidious Insidious Conjuring is another horror. In between, there was another called Death Wish or something.
Oh, yeah.
With Mark Wahlberg. No. Donnie Wahlberg. But anyway.
Donnie Wahlberg. Oh, from New Kids.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. But yeah, James Wan has different types of horror.
Do we need like a reboot of the franchise?
If you say the previous one was a mess, then sure.
Yeah. I mean, you couldn't do anything with Resident Evil, I believe.
Not so soon, like maybe 20 years later.
20 years?
I don't want to watch it when I'm 50.
Oh, when I was younger, I used to play the game. What's a game? Oh, no.
We have holograms now.
It's like how the 80s are coming back now.
Oh, that's
true. Like
yeah.
Resident Evil, like 20 years later.
Nostalgia is big is back and bigger than ever.
Yeah.
But I don't think Resident Evil is going to be one of those things. But there is some merit to what you say, because there is a Resident Evil 2 video game that is being relaunched.
Yeah.
No, it's been reworked from the ground up.
Oh.
And it's it's kind of the same game, but they updated everything else, so graphics and sound and this and that. I can't wait because the original Resident Evil 2 was a good game, but it was kind of hard to play because you would run.
Yeah.
And then you would reach the end, and then you'd have to wait for the loading screen. And then it's like another photo.
Oh.
And
no.
it made running away from zombies a lot harder.
Oh my.
Yeah. Anyway, we digress. Up next, did you guys know that there is plans to have a Call of Duty movie?
Yes.
Yes. Okay. So, one of the writers of Black Panther, a guy by the name of Joe Robert Cole, has been called to write for the second Call of Duty movie.
Wait, there was the first one?
I'm a bit confused on this as well.
The first one, if I'm not mistaken, is they have not cast anyone, but the script is ready, and now they're getting this guy to write a second movie.
Do we need a Call of Duty movie?
Kevin, do we need any entertainment at all in our lives?
But it's Call of Duty. It's a video game.
Yeah.
But this one will have story.
Do we need
The video
Avengers
games have
4?
story.
Yeah, but you know, we don't have to play it.
At the very least, show me the first movie first and let me make a decision whether or not this is a good idea.
They made Need for Speed into a movie.
Oh, I remember that. They had what's his name?
Jesse Pinkman,
Aaron.
Aaron Paul.
Aaron Paul,
and
Rami Malek.
Bitch!
remember like Tony Stark's dad.
Which one?
Dominic?
Dominic Cooper.
Oh.
Dominic Cooper.
I was
Yes,
thinking
Dominic
of the
Cooper.
other guy. The
And
older
also
one.
Michael Keaton.
Yeah.
Is he in
Oh
it?
yeah.
There's a lot of big
was
actors
in it?
now who were in Need for Speed.
Yeah.
The only one that got left behind is Aaron Paul.
Ooh. Left behind because he has no speed.
Up next, we are in a weird place now in terms of movies because all of our classic, Disney films like The Lion King and Beauty and the Beast and Cinderella, they've all gone through this retelling, and it's all live action now. And so far, Disney has done a good job. Although there was kind of a bit of flack when we got the Lion King trailer last week, when it was all like shot for shot, this looks like the opening
Exactly the
scene of
same.
the classic cartoon. So why are you even bothering making this movie? Here's a movie that is probably coming out, and it's Disney's Pinocchio, and they are in talks with Tom Hanks to star in this movie.
Yes.
As Geppetto?
I think he will be Geppetto.
Yes.
Actually,
Geppetto.
he could be a Geppetto.
He looks like a Geppetto.
He can act like a Geppetto.
There's a picture of him in this article, and it's him on, I think it's a screen grab from that movie he did where he landed the plane in the Hudson.
Oh.
The
I can't remember what the movie's called.
Yeah, the
Sully.
Oh yeah.
Sully.
Yes, and as Sully with the white hair and the white mustache, you put like a pair of round glasses, you have Geppetto.
Okay.
Suspenders and brown shoes.
Tom
Yes.
Hanks can play any character.
He's the father of America, isn't he?
Yes.
He really is.
Yeah.
Father of America.
Yeah.
No, he's
Okay.
every American's uncle.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
he's kind of like I think it was SNL, and they did like a segment when he guest hosted, and he's like, okay, you know what, America? He puts on a sweater. So this year's been tough. This
Oh,
Oh,
yeah.
yeah. Right.
So he's like the dad figure of
Yeah.
America. So I do
Right.
see him as Geppetto, and if they do make this, I'm all for it.
Yeah.
I don't
Yeah,
know.
they've done a lot of Pinocchio live action
I'm pretty
movies.
traumatized
They've done a few,
with
yeah.
the cartoon one.
Trump with the
Oh,
cartoon.
actually, yeah,
It was really-
when he turned into a donkey,
Yeah,
that
oh,
that
yeah.
was so creepy.
Yeah, that was really creepy.
I think it'll be fun in live action. So then maybe this is like a horror thing.
Oh my!
They
Ah.
should get James Wan to
did
direct it.
Yeah. I watched that.
But there's a horror Pinocchio, like
Yes.
Yeah,
there's
yeah,
one.
yeah. I
90s
remember
or
that.
something.
That's
It
creepy.
kills.
This was
Murder
during
Pinocchio.
that 90s sort of slasher boom
Yeah,
where we
yeah.
had
Yeah.
Leprechaun and things like that.
Yeah.
Okay, last bit of news this week on the Wayang Crew podcast. We're going to have to talk about this because this was big news this week. Netflix has announced that they are canceling Daredevil and they will not be having a season 4. Now, this is following news over the last couple of weeks of them canceling series in the same universe like Luke Cage and Iron Fist, which I guess, maybe some of us saw coming. They did not say anything about canceling Jessica Jones or Daredevil, but now they have come out and said it's over. And the reaction to this news by the fans has not been good.
Yeah, thousands of comments on Netflix. like random posts from Netflix,
Yep.
like Cole Sprouse's posts.
Like a photo of him.
Yeah, and then
like, at the
people are
bottom,
like, bring back Daredevil.
Daredevil. Why do you think this is happening though?
I don't know, but I honestly don't know. I thought it's because they wanted to shift it to Disney Plus, but according to someone we know, it is not the case. It is because Netflix didn't want to have anything that that is related to the MCU, but they can't have anything to do with.
They don't benefit from it, right?
Yeah. I don't know. But I have not seen Daredevil 3, so my reaction is not as big as those who have seen it, because like you guys said, it's a really good series.
Yeah.
But then I enjoyed Daredevil season 1 very much. Season 2 was a bit let down, so season 3 I haven't seen. I will see it soon. Just that now that they've officially cancelled it, I don't feel the urge to go into it just now.
So you want to save it?
Not save it. Like, what's the point?
Oh.
What's the point of watching this when it's already cancelled?
The point is watching a good series.
Yeah.
Good.
That's why I will still watch it.
All right. Nikkei?
Same as Dale, I haven't watched season 3, so I don't have a lot of feelings. But I just finished season 3 Jessica Jones and I really like it.
Okay.
So if that one got cancelled, then maybe I might have the same feeling as everyone's feeling for
Then you'll be one of those
Daredevil.
people who are just commenting on
Yeah.
every other
Yes.
Netflix post.
Yes.
I feel so sorry for that guy. Naz, what are your thoughts on this?
I'm really okay. I won't say. Yeah, I think I'm a bit disappointed because I really wanted to see what Kingpin was gonna do, what Bullseye, Elektra were gonna do.
Mm-hmm.
So now we don't have
There's no more hope
there's no hope
because they've announced that it's over.
New York. There's no hope for Hell's Kitchen.
You know what makes this worse is that you and I both have watched season 3 and we
Yeah.
know how it ends.
Yeah.
And the news that Netflix is dropping Daredevil just makes us look back and go, that can't be the end of the whole
I know.
thing.
Like, we need to know what's gonna happen.
Exactly.
That's why there's no point to watch it.
No.
My goodness.
Right. So that's the news this week on the Wayang Crew podcast. If you want to get in touch with us here on the show, you can do so via our contact links down below in the description, which moves us to our next bit of the show, which is our review of The House with a Clock in Its Walls. This is starring Jack Black and Cate Blanchett.
Yeah. Directed by Eli Roth, who was
yes.
also Comrade Ivan, I think.
Yeah,
he
he's
was
Captain Midnight.
Oh.
What?
Comrade Ivan?
Is it Comrade?
Comrade Ivan? Wait. Comrade Ivan sounds like a very familiar character. Who is this again?
He's in the house. He's in the movie.
Yeah, he's in the photo frame.
Aha.
The Captain
Yeah.
Midnight
Yeah,
show
yeah.
that the
Yes.
kids always want to watch.
Captain Midnight. Yeah.
Yeah.
The one with the goggles and
Eli Roth.
Okay. This movie I thought was a very, very sort of like I said in the beginning of the show, Jack Black has carved himself a very, very specific niche with regards to the characters that he plays.
The young adult
The
horror
young adult
novels.
horror
Yeah.
novel. He's the main protagonist, I guess. Although in this movie he isn't. He's just the uncle
Yeah.
to
The protagonist.
who is a kid.
Goosebump, he
his
wasn't
parents.
also. But in Goosebump, he wasn't really the protagonist as well.
I guess
the
so, but
kids.
the kids are, but he's just
Yeah.
the fulcrum to the whole movie.
Yeah.
Without
Yeah.
him, nothing happens. So he plays the uncle to a child who lost his parents
at an accident.
in an accident,
And
and
he moves
because
into his
he's the
house.
only family
Yeah.
left for this child, he ends up looking after with the help of Cate Blanchett's character,
Mrs. Zimmerman.
Mrs. Zimmerman, who is
The neighbor.
The neighbor. I think Cate Blanchett was fantastic in this movie.
Her banter with Jack Black was fantastic.
Yes,
I loved it.
And because he is a warlock,
Yeah.
which is a male wizard or male witch,
No, witch.
Boy witch.
boy
Boy
witch,
Yeah.
boy witch. Okay,
Boy.
they well in the beginning they kind of find it hard to bond, Jack Black and this kid.
Yeah.
And then he finds out, so you're a warlock, and
Yeah.
then they bond through magic. And then the kid breaks one cardinal rule that he sets in the house, which is not to open this cupboard and see or read this book.
Yeah.
Which really kicks the movie into like a different gear because he ends up raising the dead, and a very
Yeah.
particular dead person, which is their former partner. I think.
Yeah.
Yep.
The guy who died in the house.
Yeah. What did you think of this movie, Del?
The title itself is very difficult to remember because you gotta remember whether it's a house or the house with a clock or with clocks, and in its wall or in the wall. So to get it right is already a very difficult task. And to have a movie title like that, you're putting yourself like, you're shooting yourself in the foot, basically.
You are.
But they
Yeah.
can't change it because it's from the book, and the book has
Yeah.
this silly title. So,
Yeah.
the first act of this movie was very, very, very slow. I tried to sleep even in the cinema.
Whoa.
Tried.
Yeah, I tried.
You don't sleep in cinema.
I don't.
usually.
Usually I don't, and this is a very slow first act. But once the kid found magic, that's when the movie went into a different gear and it became more interesting.
Yeah.
It's nice to see, like Nas said, the banter between Jack Black and Kate Blanchett. Those were some of the best parts of the movie, and Blanchett was, like you said, also she's really good in this one, as she is good in everything actually. And then we go into the third act, which was just a little disappointing because it kind of plateaued. There was no big ending sequence or big fight in the end, and other than that, I thought the CGI was adequate. I guess the biggest surprise was Eli Roth tackling a kid's movie.
Yeah, because he's more well known
usually,
for,
like for horror.
horror
for
and like psychological
R-rated.
thrillers
Yeah.
and
His movies are all rated R.
yeah.
So this is the first one that's PG-13.
But it had elements of like non-PG-13.
The horror
Yeah,
was
the
done
horror.
very, very well. Yes.
Like if I was 7 and I watched this movie, I'd probably
Yeah.
be super scared.
Yeah.
I'd be scared to sit on my chair.
Yeah, because it like I thought it was kind of scary for a kid movie. It was creepy.
Yeah. Nikkei?
I actually really enjoy it. It's like a movie that if I see it on TV, I'll watch it and I'll
Yeah.
still get entertained by it.
Mm.
That's his friend in school, the
Oh.
president kid.
Yeah,
he
yeah.
reminded me so much of Corey Feldman.
Who was that?
The 80s kids, Stand By Me, Goonies.
Yes. Okay. Yeah.
So much.
Even the look and the way, because the movie is kind of set.
1955.
Yeah, set in the 1950s. So it has a timeless element to it. It kind of like, it feels like a Back to the Future kind of thing.
Yeah.
It feels
Yeah.
like a, movies from that era.
Yeah.
So it's not, but even though it is set in those times, it's still, I wouldn't say relevant, but you're familiar with it.
Yeah, it really does feels like the
yeah.
movie came out during that.
Like the look and the aesthetic
Yeah.
is something that we've seen many times before, and but it's slightly different, I guess, because it's magic now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And the good thing is, like, what I really like of the magic is actually the magic in the movie was the magic I was expecting from Fantastic Beasts.
Yeah.
Okay.
The
Yeah,
way
yeah.
it was shot and
Yeah.
the way it was presented, I was
Yeah.
like, oh, this
This is much better.
is what Fantastic Beasts needs.
Yeah.
That
Okay.
kind of magic.
Eli Roth.
Eli
Ross.
Warner Brothers needs to change Fantastic Beasts director.
Okay. I like Nikkei. I like this movie. It was one of those movies that I could watch. Like,
Yeah.
as I mentioned, because it feels familiar. We've seen like this kind of aesthetic before. Jack Black is good at what he does, and
He's so
he-
charming always.
He's charming. and-
Yes. The dialogue in the first scene just caught me.
correct. Yeah. And then his relationship with the kid and
Yeah.
also with his neighbor. And then the backstory starts coming out as the movie goes along, where
Yeah.
their partner, I guess, killed himself because he was trying to achieve something. And this is a big spoiler. What essentially his partner, who was dead at the beginning of the movie, was trying to do was to reverse time, to undo all the wars and all the ugly things that humans have done, because he was in the war and he experienced it firsthand, and he made a deal in the forest with a demon.
Black
And
magic.
black magic, and he got he got a hold of some spells, and he was tasked with reversing time,
Yeah.
which he, in the process of doing it, killed himself, and then the protagonist of the movie, the kid, ends up bringing him back to life.
Yeah.
because he does what a kid wants to do, which is show off,
Yeah.
like to his friend.
Like,
But
he can do
also he had
things.
a motivation where he said that if he could bring back one dead person,
It would be
then he would want to go and try and bring back his
his
parents,
mom, yeah.
which was, I guess, a good enough motivation.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I
as a kid.
as a kid, you know,
Yeah.
they really boiled it down. And good job to Eli Roth and whoever wrote the screenplay. Would you recommend this movie?
I would, yeah. It's a fun, not chill.
Not chill.
It's a fun movie to watch with your family.
Yep, this is a family movie, so bring your kids because there is some scary elements, but it's not like horror.
Yeah.
No.
It
It's
doesn't make you not sleep at night.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Even the most scary looking things in this movie, which were the pumpkins with teeth.
Yeah.
And then they're getting closer, and then Jack Black says, "Don't worry, the teeth are made of pumpkin. They can't bite you." And they
they're
just
buffing out.
they just end up barfing out like pumpkin sauce,
Yeah.
which hardens up into crystal. It's like, oh, we can't move. That's the worst.
It's really nice.
It's a fun family movie.
Yeah.
Fun family movie. Del, do you think so as well?
It came at the right time, like Thanksgiving.
Yeah.
Okay.
Sure.
Del just going, yeah.
Sorry.
Yeah. It's okay. I mean, yeah. Okay.
Okay, let's do ratings. Del, what do you give The House with a Clock in Its Walls?
6 clocks on the wall.
Yeah, you got the easy one.
Aw.
Nikkei,
I'm giving 8 purple snakes.
8 purple snakes. Okay. Naz?
I give it a 7.5 barfing pumpkin.
7.5. I'll give this movie also a 7.5. Let me see. Jack Black's out of 10.
It's a lot of Jack Black.
Because he is the central character
he is.
in this movie.
He made it really
Because of the
fun.
way he acts and this and that. And I particularly like the scenes where he starts to bond
Yeah.
with the kid, where he shows the planets and the star systems and this and that. And I'm like, okay.
The kid has a very high pitched scream.
Okay.
Well,
Every
it hasn't
time-
reached puberty
It's
yet.
Yeah.
the same as Dakota Fanning when she just came out.
But Dakota Fanning is a girl, you see.
No, you're just being sexist.
Hey, boys can scream too.
I know.
You should hear
But
Kai
he-
scream.
He doesn't have to go that high pitch.
Well, it serves the purpose of the movie.
Yeah.
So there you have it. That's our review of The House with a Clock in Its Walls. It is an overall good movie, so go and enjoy it with your family in the cinemas. It is now showing here in local cinemas in Brunei. And our final bit of the show is, of course...
Oi, apa liat-liat? Apa liat-liat? Hoi, 看什么看? Apa liat-liat?
Apa liat-liat? 那看什么看？
Apa liat-liat? See what see? 笑了.
That's right, it's Apa Liat Liat, and it's what else we have been watching besides The House with a Clock in Its Walls. That is a mouthful. Del, Apa Liat Liat.
I rewatched Escape from New York.
Whoa.
This is the second time I've ever watched this
Kurt
movie.
Russell.
Yeah. Snake Plissken. It's really slow. It's really, really...
Wait, this is the first one. The second one is LA.
Yeah.
Okay. The second one is when he was surfing.
I have not seen...
Oh, okay. Sorry about that.
I haven't revisited the second one because it came out so long ago.
Like 95?
No, 90 something.
98, about there?
94, 95,
That's an old movie. What
Yeah.
else? Anything else?
No, just that one.
That's it? Mm-hmm. Nikkei, Apa Liat Liat.
I watched My Sister's Keeper.
Oh.
It's Abigail Breslin, Cameron Diaz. I don't know who the rest are, but it's a really good movie. I didn't watch it when it came out. It was like, I think, 10 years ago, I think.
Yeah, I think so.
When Cameron Diaz was still relevant.
Oh,
Yeah, but
ouch.
I
Oh.
like.
And when Abigail was adorable.
Oh yeah, she was still a kid. Oh, she's still adorable now, but I cried from the beginning to the end.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's really emotional.
It's really, really emotional. It's almost like Little Miss Sunshine. It's
But this is about like her sister
but
has
yeah,
cancer.
instead of
Yeah.
depression, this is more of like someone with an one of the family member has cancer
Like
and
an
how
illness.
everyone is dealing with it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, I've got nothing to do this weekend. Maybe I could cry. Naz, Apa Liat Liat.
I watched To All the Boys I Loved.
Oh, I saw that.
No, yeah.
Cute. I watched it twice.
They're making a
Wow.
sequel.
Oh, I know. I want to watch watch it. Oh, it's so cute. It's like a feel good.
Yeah, it's alright. It's
flick.
alright.
Yeah,
Yeah,
because the girl is adorable.
she's Jubilee from X Men.
Yeah, Jubilee from X-Men.
Jubilee.
Her sister
Okay.
was confusing because I keep thinking that was her mother.
Yeah,
Yeah.
she seemed really mature, like
She
super mature. I
looks
thought
really
she-
mature. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, I checked out only one thing this week, and it's a series on Netflix under the documentary section, and it's a documentary. I think they have like 6 or 7 episodes called Dirty Money, and it's a very good series because it's investigative journalism to some degree about these big corporations that dupe their customers and how their customers did lose out on getting into like money lending schemes and things like that, and they have like
Wow.
an episode on Donald Trump, and I was just hooked. I finished the whole series, and it took me 2 days to watch
Wow.
like 6 episodes. I'm like, okay, this is actually a good thing. So if you have
gotta check it
Netflix,
out.
check it out. It's if you have Netflix, it's there for you to watch. So that's what we've been watching this week on Untitled Liat, and that's the show this week, guys. We did another one. Do join us next week, where we will be probably giving you a review of Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse, which is probably showing on December 7th. Although I hope to maybe catch a sneak on the 6th or the 5th. We'll see. We'll see you on the next episode of the podcast. Bye.